jazz, the original jazz from New Orleans. Some of it had its roots in the bordellos with the piano players. They used to hire piano players to play in bordellos. Same thing in bordellos just about everywhere. Piano players. So the bordellos in Buenos Aires, that's where the tango developed, right? And that was the dance for, that that's where it got started. Same thing with New Orleans jazz. Same things with the Cuban music, the dance music. Had some of it had its origins in that environment, in the environment of the bordello, or the street character, the Mac the Knives, the Pedro Navajas, and that whole scene. And that's just part of the culture, and it reflected the culture. That's pretty much what happened there.
Pedro Navaja, speaking of, I mean, you were performing, working at the time of, I mean, what I think is incredibly exciting times of Willie Colon, Ruben Blades. I call him Blades. I don't know if it's Blades, Blades.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. I've heard stories about them going on stage with bulletproof vests on. I read a story where somebody got killed right in front of, I think.
Oh, I mean, I experienced that. Throughout the years, do you remember fights in the big dance halls?
Sure. One of the reasons they stopped the Manhattan Center on 34th Street is because they used to start fighting.
Hold up, there's
Yeah.
a problem.
Put this transmitter so I can see.
The one in the back?
Yeah, just put it over on. Put it on the front somewhere.
Yeah, put it on his shirt.
Oh, you put it somewhere else?
Yeah, just put it so it has a straight line of sight to the.
What about on the floor?
You want to lay it right here on top of it?
That's fine too.
Excuse me. But
Just
then
put
you
it right there.
no, but
Put it on top here.
you won't be able to see it.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah.
You think that'll make a difference?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You tell me when.
Okay. Now the fights, like as in any culture, when you put people together, and there's drinking going on, and it's inevitable that you would have a situation where some person would push somebody, or something would happen and there'd be an insult, and it would develop into a fight. I've seen it happen many times, but in the big dance halls, that's why they started hiring bouncers to make sure that if the fight would break out, somebody would be there to break it up right away, and the dance would go on. Now, Machito, one of his famous tunes that became a Latin jazz standard was called Tanga. Now, Tanga is was a tune that was made up on the spot. It was created from a piano figure that was from another tune, and they decided to start playing that piano figure, and they developed a tune on it. The Mario Bowser would tell saxes, you do this. All right, now the trumpets do this against it, and now this would happen. And this would all in the course of a performance. They would develop this. Now that became the anthem for or the tune that they would play whenever a fight would break out. And that, right, Manny? Manny, the Tanga, the way Tanga got started.
Yeah. That they would play it so the people would start dancing or pay mind to the music.
And not pay
the
mind,
fighting,
not the fighting, right? So, but the Manhattan Center was a big, big old Union Hall with a huge high ceiling. It still exists. This place is still there on 34th Street, but they turned it into a now.
That's how they stopped the dances because of the fights.
Yeah, but that.
St. Nicholas Arena. That's what I wanted to say before.
Yeah, Now,
Go
yeah,
ahead,
yeah,
go
but the Manhattan Center was famous in the middle 40s, like 46 on up, for a dance
34.
on 34th Street for a dance called the Tico-Tico dances. This was the first big dance in a huge place, and they would have a lot of bands playing, and it would start early in the afternoon. It was like a matinee thing, you know. And this, my mother even went to those dances, and he used to play those dances, and they used to have like 3 or 4 big bands playing there, and that was the place to go on like a 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that was before the Palladium, before anything, the Tico-Tico dances was one of the first places where the music really started to really rock. You know, the mambo dances really started happening there, and that was the fight element was one of the things that unfortunately brought that to a stop, you know. But it always happens. I remember as a kid playing in places, and even in a church dance, a fight break out, and people be punching each other, and you pushed my mother, bam, you know, and all this stuff. And the next day, people would come to the mass with all kinds of bandages on their faces and whatnot. You know, I was a witness to that.